Hello everyone, Melissa Crook here, design team member for Bello's Designs. Today I'm going to be showing you how I've made this design, but instead of it being on a card, we're going to put it on a candle. So I'm going to show you the basic process of making the design and how to apply it to the candle. So first thing I'm going to talk about is my candle. I'm using a 6-inch LED candle. So this is a battery operated candle, but it is still wax coated. Now it does need to be wax. We're going to do a thermal decoupage process. That's how you attach your design to your candles. I recommend the LED candles to a regular candle with a flame simply because it won't get ruined. If you choose to use it on a regular candle and you light it, you have to be careful that because you're going to be putting it on paper, it could catch fire. So just be aware of that. Okay, so let's go over some of the supplies that we're going to be needing. First of all, these are the stamps. We're using Seren. It's an Lavinia stamp, LAV 664. The Lavinia Fir Tree, LAV 022. Fairy Fir Tree 2 Small is LAV 492S. The Red Pine Small is LAV 592. And we're using Verse Magic Surrounds Us, LAV 669. And then we're going to be using two little stamps from Cardio. This one is from the collection Up on the Roof, and the little mouse from Surprise Visit. And so this is a Cardio set Up on the Roof. And we're using Santa and the Reindeer, which I have that backwards. And then from Surprise Visit, the little mouse standing on the pine cones. My new favorite little stamp. Okay, so for inking, we're going to use VersaFine Clair Nocturne and Twilight. We're going to use Distress Oxide's Antique Linen, Prize Ribbon, and chipped sapphire. Oops. We're going to use a Versamark watermark stamp pad and possibly the Hero Hues in Unicorn. I did use this on the card, but I'm not sure if we're going to use it on the candle. You of course need your acrylic stamp blocks. I'm going to use my stamping platform, some various pins. I have a jelly roll in an orange, a blue, and a silver, a white Signo pin, a Posca pin in yellow and in white, blending brush. I'm going to use some mica powders. Mine is Lumina Art Iridescent Gold, and just a paintbrush to apply that. For the paper, also plenty of sheets of copy paper and a piece of parchment or a piece of wax paper and your heat gun. These are to finish the process in the candle making. Okay, to get started, I have my piece of tissue paper on a piece of copy paper on my stamping platform. We're going to ink up Seren using Nocturne. And you will see that the ink bleeds quite a bit, so that's why I use a piece of copy paper underneath when you're stamping. So now we're going to create our background, starting with the sky. We're going to place down our moon mask over the lantern and I'm using a piece of torn copy paper to create the horizon line. We're going to use Distress Oxide and Chip Sapphire with a blending brush. And you'll just want to lightly go over in a circular motion right at the baseline. And we'll do this all the way across. And now we're going to switch to the Prized Ribbon Distress Oxide. And we will blend that right over the top of the Chip Sapphire. And we will continue to fill in the sky as the background. You want to hold your moon mask in place and give a light amount on there around the mask. And tissue paper is very finicky and it likes to slide around and move and wrinkle. But that's okay. If that happens, it's just let it be. Blend it as much as you can. And it just adds some more effects to the sky anyway, so it's really okay. And now with our copy paper, we are going to create some snow. So you'll just lightly go over your tissue paper using your brush in various random places. And make sure to get right under Seren's feet and the lantern. And create some hills of snow in front and behind. Now we're going to start stamping with our trees. And we're going to use the Fairy Fir Tree Small, inked up in Twilight, VersaFine Clair. You want to use your piece of copy paper in the same area as you had it previously. This will create some depth and make your trees look like they're in the back within the snow. With our Fairy Fir Tree 2 Small, also inked up in Twilight, I'm going to stamp this at random places, and you want to use different heights as well. You'll also want to use first and second generations to create some depth. And now with the Red Pine Tree Small, I'm going to ink that up with Nocturne. Now using the Fairy Fir Tree Large, I'm going to stamp that up with Nocturne as well from the bottom of the piece of tissue paper, and a full tree of the Fairy Fir Tree. After you've stamped those down, we're going to ink up in the Hero Hues Unicorn directly over where we had stamped, and this will create a shadow and a snow-like effect. Now we're stamping with the little mouse from Cardio, and we'll place him right under the tree. And now using the Distressed Oxide Antique Linen, we're going to color in the moon, and this will help with the glow from the candle. Now stamping up Santa and the reindeer from Cardio. Stamp that in Nocturne, just over the moon. And now we're going to add in some highlights and some shadows. Make sure to give a shadow under the trees and the mouse. And color in the lantern with a Posca Yellow pen. And I'm just adding a little sparkle with the orange Jelly Roll pen. I'm going to use a white Posca pen to just go over those snow lines, just to add a little bit of highlight. And I'm going to fill in Seren's wings using a dark blue Jelly Roll pen. You will be able to see the glitter on her wings, and now I'm doing it on the snow. You'll be able to see that on your candle as well. Give some highlights in her hair. And using a Signo white pen, create some more highlights. And just rub them in gently to give a softer effect. Okay, and now we're done with the design, and it's time to place it on our candle. So you'll just want to center it and pull it around your candle, getting it as tight as possible. Cover that with your parchment paper or wax paper. You'll want to pull it as tight as you can, keeping that paper as flat as you can as well. With your heat tool, we will start to melt the candle, so the wax will be melting into the tissue paper. You'll be able to see the color change as your heat is applied. And just go around the entire candle. You may have to move your paper around, and that does not hurt anything. Just make sure you keep it flat and as smooth as you can. Okay, and because you have a line in the back where your papers meet, now I have cut a circular piece of tissue paper, and I'm stamping that down with the Winter Verse. And I stamped it in Nocturne. I'm going to rub the mica powder over with a paintbrush, just so you can see a little bit of sparkle within your candle. I'm also going to color this in. I did not add any ink to my brush. I'm just using what was left on my blue brush. I'm going to add a few tree stamps and second generation, and I'm doing this all along the bottom. And now I'm using a paintbrush with some water to just go around the edge, and this will give a more frayed appearance to your paper, and this really helps so you don't have that harsh line. So that's why my edges are a little bit jagged. It just helps melt it in. And you can go over with your second piece of paper right over the top of your first, because it does overlap, and that does work fine. Takes a little bit of time, so just be patient. And I have a bit of a crease that I'm trying to work out as well. So you can just rub that in with your finger. Be careful, it is hot. And just smooth it over. Okay, that is our candle. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.